Daniel Ricciardo's substitute Liam Lawsone proved to many that he's more than just a rookie substitute in F1, as he, in the worst car on the grid, managed to impress everyone with his driving and qualifications. But this weekend he even went further and was the first Alpha Tauri driver to go into Q3 since Pierre Gasly. Not only that, but he also scored points in the race, something Daniel Ricciardo and Nyck de Vries previously failed to do. But now we have to ask the question, is there a reason for Ricciardo and Tsunoda to be worried? Liam Lawsone is making a strong case for a permanent spot in the 2024 Formula 1 season. In just his third race filling in for the injured Alpha Tauri driver Daniel Ricciardo, the 21-year-old driver from New Zealand scored his first 2 points in Formula 1 by finishing 9th at the Singapore Grand Prix. This achievement not only marked his first time earning points, but also stood as the best result for any Alpha Tauri driver throughout the entire season. Alpha Tauri, which is affiliated with Red Bull, hasn't confirmed their driver lineup for 2024 yet. This uncertainty arises because Daniel Ricciardo is currently on loan from Red Bull until the end of 2023. Liam Lawsone, who missed out on a full-time seat at the beginning of the season, has clearly demonstrated his potential. Lawson turned heads during the qualifying session for the race when he advanced to the third session, a feat no other driver associated with Red Bull accomplished. This even included keeping the reigning world champion Max Verstappen from making it to the final qualifying session. Ultimately, Lawson qualified 10th on the grid for the race, indicating his promising future in Formula 1. After qualifying, Liam Lawsone acknowledged that the upcoming race would be tough. Despite losing a couple of positions right at the start, he managed to drive a solid and clean race. Unlike other Alpha Tauri drivers who have struggled with their car this season, Lawsone consistently found the speed needed to be competitive. At the front of the race, Carlos Sainz from Ferrari, who had secured pole position in qualifying, went on to win the race. Lando Norris from McLaren and Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes completed the podium. Liam Lawsone also received the second highest number of votes for the Driver of the Day award, with Carlos Sainz being the winner. After the race, he said, "I'm pretty tired right now. The race was long, it was hot. We didn't quite have the speed for the guys in front, so that was a bit tricky, but on my side, I need to sort these starts. It's 2 weeks in a row now that I've lost 2 spots off the starting line and making our life more difficult. We did the hard work yesterday to put ourselves in Q3, and to lose those 2 spots off the line is tricky. For the rest of the race, I gave it everything." Lawsone missed out on a full-time role with Alpha Tauri in the 2023 season due to limited experience. He has been competing in the Japanese Super Formula this year and remains in contention for the championship with 2 races remaining. Since his Formula 1 debut at the Dutch Grand Prix last month, Lawsone has shown significant improvement. Although he narrowly missed out on points at the Italian Grand Prix, he secured a victory in the challenging Singapore race, known for its physical and mental demands due to its nighttime setting, heat and humidity. Lawsone has been striving for this opportunity for a while and is determined to make the most of it. He acknowledges the limited time window he has to prove himself in the sport and is focusing on giving his best every session to demonstrate his capabilities. Daniel Ricciardo might have reason to be concerned about his recent performances, especially if he wants to fill in for Checo at Red Bull in the future. But with every passing day, it looks like Perez's seat might become available either next year or when his contract ends, but nothing is certain yet. If Ricciardo aims for that spot, he needs to step up his game. So far, he hasn't outperformed Tsunoda, whereas Liam Lawsone has shown himself to be a winner. The same could be said for Tsunoda as well, even though this weekend was probably his unluckiest one so far. Tsunoda has had 3 different teammates at Alpha Tauri this season: Nyck de Vries, then Ricciardo, and now Lawsone. Out of these 3, only Tsunoda has managed to earn points, and now after the race, Liam Lawsone too. However, there are reports suggesting that Tsunoda's position as a race driver is in jeopardy. Red Bull, the senior team of Alpha Tauri, is apparently thinking about making him a reserve driver for the next season and putting Ricciardo and Lawson in the race seats instead. According to racing analyst Chris Medland, there's no strong indication that Tsunoda will move up to a Red Bull race seat in the future. Therefore, he might be shifted to a reserve position within the main team to make room for potential Red Bull prospects like Ricciardo and Lawson. Tsunoda's recent performances haven't been in his favor. He lost one race to Ricciardo and another to Lawson. Ricciardo finished 13th in his return at the Belgian Grand Prix, while Tsunoda came in 15th. Lawson, on his debut, secured 13th place, while Tsunoda finished 15th. Additionally, Lawson outperformed Tsunoda in qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix, with Lawson starting 10th and Tsunoda down in 15th. It's worth noting that Lawson's impressive performance has caught the attention of many, especially since he pushed Max Verstappen out of qualifying. Former IndyCar driver turned pundit Patrick commented on Tsunoda's situation, highlighting that being consistently slower than new teammates is not a positive sign in the highly competitive world of Formula One, where maintaining a race seat requires exceptional speed and performance. Simply outscoring his teammates may not be enough to secure Tsunoda's position. According to former strategy engineer Bernie Collins, teams consider various factors when choosing their drivers, and feedback from the driver is one of these important criteria. Teams assess a driver's qualifying and race performance as well as their ability to manage tire wear during races. Moreover, the driver's feedback to the team is crucial. Teams need drivers who can provide valuable input to help develop the car and improve the team's overall performance. This requires effective communication and collaboration between the driver and their engineers. In the past, Tsunoda has faced criticisms from Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko regarding his feedback. Marko emphasized the importance of constructive and detailed feedback from the driver rather than using strong language and expletives. Tsunoda was advised to analyze the car's performance objectively and communicate it factually to the team for effective car development. Liam, in his third race as a reserve driver, secured his first points by finishing 9th. During the race, he didn't realize he had a shot at points until later on. He thought they had a chance before Max and the Red Bulls caught up, then it seemed to slip away. However, when Checo and Albon had their fight and Albon dropped back, Liam felt more confident they could at least secure 10th place. Unfortunately, it was due to George's crash that they gained an extra point. This achievement is noteworthy for a few reasons. Firstly, Liam became the first rookie in F1 history to score their first points in Singapore, a demanding track that typically doesn't favor newcomers. While some drivers have scored points on their debut, this track's challenges make Liam's performance even more impressive. Additionally, it was the first time in 2023 that this particular car chassis earned points, as neither Nyck de Vries nor Ricciardo had scored with it. Furthermore, Liam's result marked Alpha Tauri's best finish since the 2022 Italian Grand Prix when Pierre Gasly finished 8th. Yuki has had a solid season, but he's had some bad luck and it's affected his points. In the last race, he couldn't race through no fault of his own, and in this race, Max hindered him in qualifying and there was a crash with Perez in the race. And we all know who was at fault. Pressure is increasing because Liam Lawson is performing well. However, it's worth waiting to see how Ricciardo performs when he returns and what results Yuki can achieve for the rest of the season. Personally, I'd like to see Yuki and Lawson together because they have a history of living together during their junior careers. They know each other well and work together effectively. I wouldn't be surprised if Red Bull decides to choose Lawson directly and bring him into their team. He has shown he's a promising rookie, and both he and Oscar Piastri, another rookie this season, have added excitement to the season. Even though Red Bull has been dominating, these rookies have made things more interesting to watch.